And good morning, beautiful people. You know what time it is. It is tea time.
And hello, and welcome to Tea Talk, Real Talk Conversations Over Tea, where we bring people on our shows to talk about issues and topics that matter. Today we have an amazing young lady, Makeba Green. She is awesome, as you will see. I just fell in love with her when I met her 2 years ago, and you're going to fall in love with her too. So, Makeba, just tell us a little bit about yourself, tell us your journey and your aspirations, and where you see yourself going.
Okay. Well, I started my business at the age of 13 when I was in high school. I'm currently 21 years old and I'm graduating this year. And ultimately, I started my business because I didn't like how I was bullied basically in high school, by not by students but by teachers.
Oh wow.
So instead of
worse.
teachers encouraging you, saying like you can do this, no, it was the other way around.
Right.
For me, unfortunately, we had a lot of teachers who told us that we were stupid.
Oh my God.
Just terrible things. But ultimately, that inspired me to start a nonprofit to help educate and empower and motivate the next generation.
Now, what's that nonprofit called?
Okay, so it's called OMG Photography. I know a lot of people get thrown off like photography, but also like photography was one of my loves as well.
Okay.
I've been taking pictures since I was 5.
Oh my God.
So it was only
At
natural.
5, you just picked up the camera and just click.
Because my parents signed me up for different art classes as well.
Nice.
So I just, glued to photography.
Yeah.
So ultimately, OMG Photography was the name, but I also wanted to be more than a photographer and more than a videographer. I wanted to give back to the community because unfortunately, I saw the effect at 13 of how someone's words can actually dictate your life.
Right.
If you believe and if you're told that you're stupid or that you can't do it every day, then you realize I'm stupid. I'm gonna drop out of high school, and that's unfortunately what a lot of students did.
Wow.
I saw a lot of smart people drop out. I saw a lot of smart people go to the other side of life because of that. So I was thankful and blessed to have a support system who actually encouraged me. I'm also an author now as well, which I never would have pictured me because my English teacher, I remember being told for 4 years straight that I can't write.
That's what she said?
4 years.
So all your teachers were like that? Or
So
just
predominantly,
okay.
so a few.
Wow.
So I had some great teachers as well,
Right.
but unfortunately, predominantly the teachers, as a teacher, you have the ability to really impact a student.
Of course.
And I don't feel that, looking back and reflecting, that I was impacted only by a few teachers.
Right.
But unfortunately, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now, was it in the public schools or?
So I actually went to arts high school, so performance arts school.
Right, nice.
So in the performance part, it was great. I majored in TV production.
Wow.
It was great. I loved it. But unfortunately, in the academic side, we still needed some work.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because that's why you're supposed to be a teacher.
Exactly.
To help, to nurture, to inspire, and all those things. And for you to get that from quite a few teachers, I think that's horrendous.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a wonderful thing that you have the parents and the friends and family that can support you and push you. But I know some people do say sometimes it's not a horrible thing if some people say that to you because it's only going to force you and prove to them, oh no, I am not this, I'm not dumb, I'm not stupid, and now you can slap them in the face without saying anything to them.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's amazing.
That's
amazing. So I know I met you about 2 years ago at D. Marshall's event, and you got an award from her as well. And I saw this young face taking pictures, like, who's this young girl? And then when I saw that you got the award and heard a little bit about you, I said, oh my God, I have to meet you. I know we kind of chatted a little bit then, and I've been seeing you here and there, and especially on social media. You're always doing so many things.
Thank you.
So just tell us some of the things that you are doing in the community.
Okay. So ultimately, my business, we give out scholarships to high school students as well as college students. I'm also launching a girls mentoring program.
Wonderful.
In honor for one of my friends that I unfortunately lost this summer.
Oh my God, wow.
Just to really help motivate and again inspire.
Right.
Also, I'm working with other young people to go on tour. So we're going to be releasing who's going to go on tour with us soon. And the name of the tour is Read, Think It, and Write It.
Oh, nice.
So we're gonna have different performers, different speakers, and really to help unite young people because I feel like there's an attack on young people.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Especially in the media, people say oh young people were this, and it's like
that's true.
We're not.
It's true.
It's a lot of positivity going on.
Right.
So.
And it's going to be all teenagers or young
so we're
adults.
going to start young adults, high school students. We're going to have the little people too, kindergarten. Show them some love.
Yes.
So.
That's amazing.
Thank
so
you.
how many people are on your team working with you?
So it's a group of 10 of us.
Okay,
So we're all
nice.
excited. We have a
Wow.
publicist, a media person. We're looking for a
Nice.
photographer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know a couple of photographers.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure there's a lot of photographers out there, but of course, finding the best one is ultimate.
Absolutely.
But you know, I'm sure you know a lot of people anyway that can give you some insight on that. But I definitely can give you some insight on that as well.
Thank you.
I think that's going to be amazing.
Yes,
So
I'm excited.
when is that going to push
So we're
off?
launching in January, but our first location is actually going to be June 4th.
Okay.
And we're going to be headed down to Baltimore, Maryland.
Wow.
So we're going to do the whole East Coast for 2016.
Wow. So are you going to be going to schools, different
So we're going
schools?
to we have different schools lined up. We also have a partnership with the local venue in Maryland.
Okay, wonderful.
So we're really excited about
That's
it.
exciting.
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, I get so excited. Just like I told you, the young lady that works here, Tatiana, I met her too. She is amazing.
Exactly.
And so when I see young people doing that, it inspires me. I'm 53 and I get so inspired and motivated when I see you, because sometimes, after doing things for a long time, you kind of get like, oh my God, But when you see young people moving, it's like, let me get back up and do what I got to do. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what age you are. It's just about getting motivated. So it's wonderful when you can see people, especially young people, like you said, people are always saying negative things about young people, because of the media and things like that. And there's so many young people that are doing things that nobody even knows or hears about.
Yeah.
And thank God for social media. Sometimes
Yeah,
social
sometimes.
media, you
Sometimes.
can, I know, because it's good and bad and
Yeah.
everything. But you can really see a lot of things that people are doing. That's a great way to motivate people as well.
Yes.
So that's exciting.
Thank you.
Exciting. And I know that you've also been doing a lot of events.
Yes.
And one of them is Women in Media.
Yes.
And I want you to tell us a little bit more about that. But I was really surprised. I'm like, here's this young woman who was giving awards to people doing stuff. I said, that is so amazing. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, so every October we host a Black Women in Media Gala. And specifically, unfortunately, so for my previous event, I had about 200 people. But I was told by different sponsors, different supporters, like, oh, if you change your event to Women in Media, then you can have 500 people. And it's like, I understand that. But at the same time, I feel like there's not enough emphasis on a Black woman in media.
Of course.
Because we don't have the positive image that we need. I said, so unfortunately, no, I'm not going to change the name.
Well, that's good that you're strong-willed about that, because one, you're trying to make an impact.
Yeah.
And you're trying to award people that are not noticed, out there in the world.
Absolutely.
And it's not about the quantity, it's about quality. And we're trying to bring quality to young people, especially in our culture, so that they can be better and, motivated and doing wonderful things like what you're doing.
Thank you.
And I know there's a couple other events that you do, so kind of tell us about those events too.
Okay, and just one last piece for the Black Women in Media event. Specifically why I chose to have it is because one day I was on a date with an opposite race with a guy, and he said, Makeba, you're pretty for, a Black girl. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Taken aback.
And I was like, wow, I haven't heard one of these comments in so long.
Oh my God.
So instead of, cursing him out or getting mad, I said, you know what, I'm going to educate you. I'm going to need you to come to my gala, and you're going to see different African American women who are doing positive things. So aside from the Black Women in Media Gala, every year we host our Scholarship and Community Awards Gala, because I'm all about connecting the community. Because I don't think, a lot of people say I do great things, but I don't see it like that. I just see me doing God's work.
Exactly.
And that's something that, just through him or whatever. And I think it's important. A lot of times people lose their being genuine. They lose the mission or whatever.
That's true.
And I always remind myself, this has been a struggle.
Yes.
Not a struggle, but it's been a challenge. And life is it's different lessons. It's never struggles.
It is.
So I think, that's important. Other events that we have is networking events and the girls mentoring program to really, really help with the young women out here.
Yeah.
So.
And they need more people like you out there, because when adults are talking to them about doing these things, it doesn't make as much impact as when a young person is doing it that's closer to their age, because now they have someone that they can relate to, and you can talk to them in their the way they talk more than some of us can. But I think I'm telling you, I'm just taken away. I'm blown away with all the stuff that you're doing. And I know you have a book.
Yes, and so I don't have my other book with me,
Okay.
but one of my books is called Entrepreneurship, the Best Job in the World.
Okay.
And it's only 30 pages because mainly it's for my younger people,
Right.
because I believe in entrepreneurship wholeheartedly.
Oh, yes.
That's all I do. That's how I raise my money.
Right.
And I think it's possible. A lot of people say, oh, well, you know, what are you going to do after college, Makeba? I'm like, oh, I'm going to run my business.
Right.
And I am going to go to law school, but I'm going to continue to run my business. I didn't go for 4 years of college just to work for someone.
Right.
And, you know, to each his own.
Right, exactly.
To each, like, I'm not knocking
Exactly.
people who
Right.
want to go to corporate, because to each his own. You
Right.
have the right to your own destiny,
Exactly.
to define your own path. But I think something in terms of entrepreneurship is not really talked about in the minority community.
Right.
It's not
It's another option.
Exactly. It's possible to make it. So, for example, this past summer I had students and we sold lemonade, and I'm from North New Jersey.
That. Yes.
And my kids, they raised in 1 hour $2,000.
Yes.
Now I work
saw
with
that.
students who have different types of backgrounds. So people who used to sell drugs, people who don't have the support system. But with my program, my business leadership program, it helps give them faith that it doesn't matter where you came from. Like it just really doesn't. And that was such an eye opener for them as well as me.
Oh yeah.
Like I actually left the activity like crying. I'm like,
I
oh
know.
my
I'm like,
God.
dang, I should have been there. Learn how to raise $2,000 in an hour selling
and
lemonade.
it just
awesome.
to show like when you put
The
your mind to it, the
possibilities.
possibilities are endless.
That is,
So,
that's
and I think
awesome.
they had a great takeaway from the activity.
Now, how many students do you have? Do you limit to a certain amount?
So for the summer, it was actually 50 kids.
Okay,
Yeah, so
nice.
for this year, we're actually in the process. I have a business partner. We're in the process of recruiting again.
Okay, wonderful.
So yes.
That is amazing. So
Thank
you're
you.
going into the communities, into the schools, churches,
Yes.
I guess?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Now, are you taking people based on referrals, or how?
So
how are
it's
you selecting the
basically
kids?
an application process.
Oh,
We
okay.
try not to discriminate,
Right.
but if we have a student who's really passionate and say they don't meet our qualifications, then we accept them.
Right.
Because I'm a whole believer that I'm not going to stop someone's destiny because
Right.
because they're short.
Right.
Because we go through that too much
Exactly.
in life already.
It's so true.
So I'm all about motivating, and I'm all
Right.
about how can I help you? How can I
Right.
be a service of you?
Right, because what's the point of having that kind of program if you're going to be that selective and then that's crushing somebody else's dream and you don't know
Exactly.
where that's going to take them. So
Exactly.
that's amazing.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing. Oh my God. I wish I was like young again, you know, and you were one of my friends. You know, it's really cool to see that, you know.
Thank you.
And I know you stay around a lot of other positive people,
I do.
older people as well, because you're like an old soul. You seem like, I think young people like you are like old souls. Because I don't know where, to be honest, I don't know where you have the energy, you know, to be doing as many things as you're doing. You know, you're doing a lot. You have a lot, and you're in school. Are you in school full time?
I am full time.
Wow.
And
I read that you were doing 2 majors and a minor,
Yeah.
and you're still doing all of this stuff. Where do you have the time?
So
Balance.
the time, the balance, I think ultimately because when you do something that you love and that you would literally do anything for, I mean, like you just make it work.
I know.
And I made a vow to myself a very long time ago how I wanted my life to be. So at 13, like I had a boyfriend, so yeah, you know, I had my fun. But at the same time, I made a decision. I made a choice. Like, look, when I'm 21, I want to have a car. I want to do this, and all of this came true.
Yes.
So all my visions from 13 until now is coming true. So I wanted my message with people. It doesn't matter what age you are. My dad, he's 65 years old, and he went back to school to get his PhD.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
like
Amazing.
that's one of my biggest heroes.
Yes,
You know, like my
yes.
parents, like they represent like so much,
Right.
and just to see their struggle and how they actually made it through,
Right.
it's just inspiring every
know.
day.
Yeah.
Very, very inspiring.
Yeah. Now, I had an uncle too when I was younger that ended up going back to school. He went to John Jay College. And I was like, wow, at that age he went back. And even now, like I'm 53, and I have a lot of friends, my sister, they're all going back to school. I'm like, oh my God. Like I'm saying to myself, because I'm an entrepreneur and I've been one for like 7 years, and I don't know if I can go study. Even though I'm working, like you said, the passion, I can stay up all the time. No matter how tired I am, I'm doing what I have to do because I have a passion. But I just say to myself, oh my God, I have to go back to school now. To have to study and take tests. Oh my, I don't know. But I'm just so encouraged when I see people, no matter what age, going to school. I think that's amazing. Because
It's a mental
learning
thing.
is always fun.
Absolutely.
Learning is always good. So, and I love that you're pushing entrepreneurship because like you said, college is not for everybody. You know, we were taught, especially in my generation, we were taught you have to go to college. You have to go to college. There was no talk about trade schools too much or entrepreneurship, even though like my uncle and my father, they were entrepreneurs. My uncle, since I've known him, I don't think he's ever worked for anybody else. So he was kind of my motivation. And then my parents, they had their little health food store. Even though my mother's a nurse, but they had the health food store. And I always wanted to do that myself, you know. But I just think it's amazing to push entrepreneurship because so many people, because of the economy, have become entrepreneurs, and some of them have amazing businesses, amazing and doing wonderful things, and making money. You know, so yes, it's hard, but it's, you know, nothing is going to be too hard if you really have the passion, the focus, and people around you, because you have to circle yourself around people that are just like-minded like yourself.
And if it was easy, I mean, everybody would do it.
Exactly.
Like, everybody would be a business owner.
Right, it's not for everybody. Some people are like, no, I'd rather just go to work,
have a 9
paycheck.
And that's fine.
Right,
that's
fine. And then it's fine. But people also think, as an entrepreneur, that sometimes that they think we're slack. It's like, well, you can do what you want when you want. No, we can, but we can't.
Yeah.
Because if we don't go to work, we don't get paid. Am I right?
Exactly.
So it's like we have a different side, you know, that's difficult as well.
Exactly.
But it's easier when you can control your own destiny.
Exactly.
So I'm just like 150% happy to hear what you're doing. It's exciting.
Thank you.
God. So, you know, tell us about, I know you were saying that you were trying to write some other books as well. What are some of the books that you're trying to write, and how's that going?
Okay, so one of the books, I'm not sure of the release date yet, but it's going to be called Confessions of a Brown Girl.
Oh, nice.
And that specifically is going to talk about my journey and specific things that people I'm not going to name said to me. And not because I'm trying to be rude or evil, put them on blast, but just because people should hear what other people say, specifically to young Black women, and understand to use their negativity as a motivation. Because unfortunately, you know, one of my first board meetings when I was in high school, I remember I attended.
Wow. You went to a board meeting?
I went to a board meeting to actually get grant money.
Wow.
So the lady said, you know, who's Makeba? Because I wrote a nice proposal. They were impressed, everything over the email. I get there. Who are you? I'm like, oh, I'm Makeba. No, you're not. I'm like, no, I am. No, you're not. I'm like, I'm Makeba.
Are you kidding?
And at 13, you don't have a license, so I can't say like I'm Makeba. Like I have my high school ID. I'm like, it says Makeba. Make a long story short, she said,
you were
look,
too smart to do all of that, huh?
She said, look, instead of lying, I'm gonna need you to get out my office.
Oh no, she did.
Because you're wasting my time. What? Exact words. And like literally 2.5 seconds after, because I was like, I'm still a crybaby. I was a crybaby. I burst into tears. And that was a blessing.
You're just sensitive. Strong people are sensitive. I consider myself a strong person, but I'm very sensitive as well.
Like literally, it was a blessing and a curse that day, because that same day, after I was like crying or whatever, I was waiting for my mom to pick me up.
And that was
a guy. That was 13. So that's when I went for my first board meeting to get money from my organization. Make a long story short, when I was outside crying, waiting for my mom, a random guy was like, what's going on? And I told him, you know how moms tell you don't talk to strangers, but I'm over here pouring my heart out. And he's like, what? And he's like, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 13. I'm like, I spent my last $20 getting my hair done. I was so mad. Because it was a Friday, so I had school later, and I couldn't get cookies, so I was just like really emotional.
Like really, oh my God.
So make a long story short, by talking to him, he actually was one of the funders for my business to this day. So we've always stayed in contact because he believed in my dream, and he said, look, don't even worry about it. And that's the power of God.
As soon as you came out and you're out there crying.
Like
so
literally.
God knew that they weren't going to do nothing for you, but they had this brother waiting for you, girl. So high five on that. Nice.
And I just think like certain stories, like when I talk to a lot of young people, it's challenging. Like I'm not going to lie and say I don't have my days where I just be like, forget it. Like I think that's, as entrepreneurs, you have to be transparent. Like look, sometimes, you know, your bank account fluctuates. It goes like,
some great months, another month, you're like, okay.
Like what happened? And I think that's why it's important, especially as African American women, that we have each other. We build a network to say it's possible. It's okay if your boyfriend left you. My boyfriend left me. It's cool. Like you can actually still, you know, continue to grow and thrive. So.
Exactly. Or if that contract didn't work out, you know what I mean? And then it's also good because then other people can talk about you and tell other people about you and what you're doing. Absolutely. And so that's going to be amazing as well. You know, that's what opens doors. You know, just connecting with the right people, and they have to be positive. I always say, I don't even want to associate with anybody negative. Like, oh, go get a 9-to-5. You know, no, or get a regular job. And sometimes your own family might do that, you know. And I think sometimes, not that they hate their jobs, but they might not be as happy, or they may not be doing the things that they really want to do. When they see other people doing it, they're like, kind of probably mad at themselves, like, why why am I not doing
why
it?
am I?
But it's just,
and it's unfortunate.
Right, it's unfortunate. And then they take it out on you instead of just saying, that's positive, wonderful. And just trying to help you to grow your business as well by telling people about you.
Exactly. And like some of my students from the summer, they actually hosted Entrepreneurship Day for Small Business Saturday.
Nice.
And I actually supported them.
Nice.
It was a group of 20.
I saw that.
So I bought something from everyone's table. So not just like, one or two things. I bought something from 5 products from each table.
Nice.
And that's something, not to say like, like I'm spending money, but to invest in them.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that made them feel special.
Of course.
That they can do it. They made a sell. They had a customer. And I think that's what the older generation has to do as well. Like it has to be a connection because the youth need the guidance, the elder generation needs to groom, and it needs to be a constant dialogue. Because as a young person, you can't just say, "Oh, I don't need any advice," because you do, because you don't have the experience.
I'm 53 and I still need advice. You know what I'm saying? I still call my parents and say, "Hey, mom, hey, dad," or somebody older, because you're never too old to get advice from anyone. So I mean, it's a give and take, and I think a lot of times with youth and the adults. A lot of times, people think, oh, well, what can a child teach me? But it's amazing how many things that children can teach you. Like I'm telling you, looking at you, looking at some of these young people, it's teaching me a lot of things as well. Even at my age, I'm like, wow, they're just such go-getters, and you just might give us that extra boost to just go ahead. You can do it, you can do it, you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter age, it's not about the age, it's just about your persistence, that you're focused and you're dedicated and you just want to make a change.
Absolutely.
And I think the one good thing too with entrepreneurship is that you have time that you can go out and you can volunteer. A lot of times when you do work in corporate America, you may be able to do it a little here, a little there, but I think you have a little bit more time to really go out there and work in your communities and do so many things to give back, because that's, to me, that is like the ultimate.
Absolutely.
In life. Like, why have all this money, whether you're an entrepreneur, you work for somebody else, and you're not out there doing something for the community. So that to me is really
And I think that's important too, like for corporate and entrepreneurship people, like a title is cool. I can say I'm the CEO, but what good is my title like once it's taken away? What have you really done for society?
That's it.
Like it's something that people need to always constantly think about.
Right. I think that's so important. Yeah. So what else is going on?
Okay. So aside from my entrepreneurship ventures as well, I'm also the vice president of Club Blue Culture Entertainment Center, which is a venue we offer open mics. We offer networking events because I love the arts. I love performance.
I saw that when I first met you. You were doing something then. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And we, ultimately it's a place to connect the community, expose positivity because that's what we're all about. I also work with artists on the side. Okay. So my best friend, I got a chance to see him perform last night. I saw and I think that's important for other young people. Yeah. I think it's important for other young people to support because I think that's what I'm finding out too when meeting other young people. They're all about me, and it's like
it's not just young people, it's older people too. A lot of times it's when you meet people and it's just all about them. You never hear people sharing. And even with entrepreneurs, I find that because I've been doing it for 7 years, and I just find that there's some people that have kind of made it and they ain't trying to help anybody else. They kind of look at you like, who are you? And if you ain't where they are, they like,
And that's just so heartbreaking sometimes.
It is. Like, I look at people like, oh, you're doing your thing, and you go to try to talk to them, and they are trying to just keep it moving, and they ain't trying to give you no advice.
It's like someone gave you a chance.
And it's not like I want to sit down with you for hours to talk.
Like just 10 minutes, like in and out.
2-second thing, and people just keep it moving. I mean, and I know they say, like, I go to a lot of different networking events and seminars and things like that, and they do say that to better yourself, you need to be with people that's on your level or above.
Absolutely.
But at the same time,
it's challenging.
It is challenging, but at the same time, I think that, when you make it, you should still kind of give back to your entrepreneurs because it was hard for you too.
Exactly.
Some people
open
have
up
it
doors.
easier. Right, exactly. Some people it might be easy depending on who they know, and other people just struggle.
Exactly.
So I think just helping each other is like the key. Because I know a lot of times people will talk about, oh, well, this person's business is great, that person's business is great, but everybody doesn't do that.
Exactly.
And it has to be a two-way street. Like, I don't want to talk about your business all the time and you're never talking about mine. So I think that is really what people have to work on.
It's supposed to be reciprocated.
It is. So, especially this is our own little world of entrepreneurs, and it's tough. So I think just helping each other no matter what, to me, that's what's going to make us all stronger.
Yes, I would love for you to come to my networking event. Speaking of events, it's January 30th. So you can save the date.
Oh, definitely, you want to put it down.
Yes, and basically the theme is vision boards into reality.
I think I saw that.
So we're all about, really.
Like, it's like, I'm out of breath just looking at you, just run. But you're running and doing good things. And everything seems to be just great. Everything seems to just fall in place nicely.
Yes, it's been a journey.
Yeah, and you have a team that helps you with everything, like the 10 people that you're working with now for the tour.
Yes.
Are they the ones that are also helping you with all these other things? Or you
So
have
I actually have those 10 people as well as another group of 10 people.
Okay.
So I try to surround myself with a combination of different people that also keeps me running and has the passion.
Right.
And that's key
and
with me.
That's what I find. If you don't find people that are passionate about something, it's hard to put them on your team or to build that team.
Yeah.
But you've been doing this from 13 and you're 21 now, and you seem to be, you know
how to weed out certain people.
Yeah.
So it's been a great journey.
And
I'm excited.
You're 21, you said.
I'm 21.
Oh my God! So what's going to happen like in 5 years? You might retire in 5 years.
So in 5 years, it's funny you said that. Because in 5 years, that's one of the plans. So in 5 years, I plan on having my documentary out. I plan on having my law degree. Probably having 10 books out by now.
Wow.
Hopefully. And just not retiring in terms of stopping my business, but just in terms of dedicating the next 5 to 10 years, hopefully finding a husband.
Okay.
Talking, lecturing, helping other young people build their brands, things of that nature.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh my God. I just can't wait to continue seeing you grow. I mean, like I said, you were beautiful when I met you 2 years ago, and just seeing all the things you're doing. A lot of times, we don't know that people are saying it, because sometimes people are not saying things. But I'm just looking at you on Instagram, on social media, and just seeing the marvelous things that you're doing. And I'm so proud of you, and I know your parents are, and it's just like, you go, girl.
Thank you.
God.
I appreciate it.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. So, all right. So, anything else that you want to talk about that we missed?
I guess just to save the date, we're having our 4th annual Scholarship and Community Awards Gala. That's going to be April 30th from 6 to 10 p.m. I'm going to have one of my first celebrity performers. I can't announce it yet.
No.
One more day.
We understand.
And I'm really excited about that. Yeah, we're
a singer?
A singer.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes,
wonderful.
So I'm really, really excited about that. We have the tour coming up. I'm not sure when the next book is going to be released, but it's going to be soon.
Right. Oh,
yes.
When you get the time. I don't know. I'm just like, girl.
And I want to leave an inspirational quote, because I always do that. I like to drop some lines. So one of my favorite quotes is that you have to listen to the beat of your own drum, even when no one wants to listen to you. And I think that's important for people to constantly remind themselves. Like, every day you wake up, you have to understand you're blessed, because not everybody wakes up in general.
Wakes up, period.
Wakes up, period. Also, like, moving past that, when your parents and your family members wake up, you're blessed. A lot of people say they're not blessed because they don't have money, because they don't have a car. That's extra.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that you made it, that's a blessing in the sky. And I think as people, we have to understand the little things in life.
Of course.
The fact that I woke up today.
Exactly.
I can see my parents.
And I say that, I mean, as old as I am, I still say to God, thanks for the roof over my head.
Yes.
Thanks for the car that I'm driving. Thanks for the food on my table.
Yes.
Because those 3 things, without it.
Because circumstances can always be worse. There's always someone going through someone worse.
And that's what I say too. People complain about, oh my God, my money this or my money that or something, and then there's so many people out there that don't even have a place to live. They're out there in the cold, the rain, and they're not, they're not even complaining as much as we do that have things.
Absolutely. You'll never know.
Like you said, we take everything for granted.
Exactly.
The running water, in South Africa, you have where the water is horrible.
Yes,
people can't even get clean water. So for us to complain as much as we do, it's crazy.
Exactly.
It's crazy, but thank you so much for coming on the show, and I have just a little something for you.
And I have something for you too.
So, thank you.
No problem.
So this is a couple different tea bags, and just enjoy your, take some time.
Yes.
And pamper yourself. Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you. And here's your book. I have to sign it after the show.
Oh yeah, wonderful.
Yes. And my tea.
And we're signing off. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.